Hey sis, what is your deal, huh? Seriously, what is the big idea here? Why in the world are you here for me introducing my fiance's family to our family? What game are you trying to play here, huh? Carmen, what on earth are you talking about? You just said you brought over Tony's family to meet our family. You realize that includes me too, right? Besides, if anything, I should be the one asking you what you were trying to pull. I had to hear about this happening from Mom. I almost wasn't able to make it here to meet Tony's parents. Duh, that was kind of the whole point of not telling you to begin with. But I don't get it. I mean, I was so shocked when Mom called me over on the phone to ask me what time I'd be coming over. I told her that I had no idea what she was talking about, and she had to explain to me everything that was going on. I didn't even know what restaurant we were all going to be meeting at. I still can't believe that Mom just had to go out and run her mouth to you. She had no right to tell you that was going on. I was doing so well at making sure you didn't know this was going to be happening, too. But I still don't understand why you wouldn't want me there to meet the family that you're about to marry into. I mean, the rest of the family is all there with you, right? I didn't want you there because I didn't want to suffer the humiliation of having to introduce you as my sister. Surely you could have guessed that much. Wait, what? What is that supposed to mean? You don't really mean that, do you? Of course I do. Just think about it. I went to an Ivy League school and graduated with honors. Tony also went to an amazing school and works for a huge company now. You really think I was ever going to let you go anywhere near my elite fiancé? You didn't even graduate high school. You had to go back to get your GED, and now you just run your sad little shop. Are you kidding me? Did you really think that that's all I've done with my life? Oh, please. I know you try to hide from everyone how sad and pathetic your life really is, but it's high time someone breaks you out of the fantasy world you're living in. That's why you need to learn your place and know that I'm not going to let you near my man. Are you telling me that you're really too embarrassed to have me meet your future in-laws and even your fiancé all because I didn't go to college? You know the whole reason I had to drop out of high school in the first place was because of the horrible car accident I was in. I had to go through months and months of PT and just didn't have the time or energy to put into going to school. But I worked hard after my recovery to be able to go back to school and finish my GED. Well, I'm glad that you're proud of all that, but to me, it's just a big blemish on our family's history. And the fact of the matter is that you still only have your GED. You're nothing. Do you understand that? How can you say that about your own sister? I really just don't get you. Well, it's the truth, so that's all there is to it. Besides, it's clear to me that you were just trying to flirt with my fiancé and steal him from me. You really don't think that that's what was happening, do you? We were just having a friendly conversation about what I do for a living. Tony seems to think it was interesting that I made my living growing and selling my own produce through my cafe. That's all we were talking about. I seriously don't even know why I bother with some poorly educated little nobody like you. You always ruin everything. And who cares about some idiot playing pretend in a cafe? You really think that that's going to last longer than a couple more years? Your business is going to fail and you're going to have nothing to show for your sad, pathetic life. I really wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. I'll have you know I'm working hard every day to make my cafe succeed. I don't really care at all what you're doing. Just don't try and do anything for attention around my fiancé ever again. It's embarrassing enough just being your sister, but if you're going to try and interfere with my life, then I'm going to make you pay.
Kim, I just wanted to say how great it was getting to meet you today. I was really looking forward to meeting Carmen's family, and I'm glad that you were there. Thank you so much for being so welcoming into your family at home. My parents and I really appreciated it.
Of course, we were all excited to meet the man who was going to be marrying my sister. So I hope that we all have the opportunity to see more of each other in the future. But I guess the next time that's going to happen will be the wedding, so I'll see you then.
Wait. Sorry. There's actually something I wanted to ask you about, if that's alright. You said that your cafe was closed for the day, right? I was just wondering if we wouldn't be able to continue our conversation from earlier for a bit.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that? I don't quite follow.
Well, you see, I went to an agricultural college, so I just really enjoy talking about farming, especially with other people in the industry. In fact, even my parents' house has a little mini garden where we experiment growing different kinds of crops or things.
Oh, really? Well, I guess that certainly explains why you were so interested in what I do for a living.
And since I live in the city now, I don't have nearly as much as I did back home to be able to grow things. So talking to you was the first time I'd gotten to talk about that kind of thing in a long time. Besides, I just think it's so amazing that you grow your own food and incorporate that into your cafe business. To be honest with you, it's always been a dream of mine to do something like that. So anyways, I just wanted to say once again that I'm happy to have gotten to meet you today. And if it's okay, I'd love to see your garden and cafe one day.
Well, by all means, feel free to stop by while I'm open and I'll arrange a tour for you. In fact, I have a spare corner in my garden that's not really being used. You could grow something there if you wanted.
Wait, really? Do you mean that? That would be amazing. I hope I'm not being forward in saying that I would love for a chance to do that.
Well, as long as you take care of that bit of land and don't make it something I have to look after, it's all yours.
I don't even know what to say. It's been so long since I last got to garden. This is really amazing. I have to say, I'm really quite surprised by you. Carmen told me you two don't get along so well. So this whole time I was expecting you to be some kind of cruel, cold ice queen. But you're just a warm, kind-hearted person with a green thumb.
I really think you're being too kind with that description, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Wait a second, I got it. What if we hired you to cater a wedding? We would love to have some of your cooking there for everyone.
You want my cafe to cater your wedding with my sister?
Of course. We've already started the plans for the wedding and everything like that, so I know I'm not giving you a lot of time. But even just a simple menu would be amazing. I just think that would be a really special way to feed everyone on the big day.
Wow, Tony, I don't know what to say except that I'm honored that you would ask this of me. But what makes you so sure that my cafe's food is even good enough for all of your guests?
Well, it's just that my parents are going to be there at the wedding, of course, and as you might have noticed, they are getting quite old. Both of them actually have trouble even chewing meat now, so knowing that you have a whole vegetable garden and a menu full of good options in your cafe, I'm sure you're the right choice.
I see. Well, okay then, if you're really sure about this.
Not only that, but I always find wedding food to be so heavy, and I think having more veggies will make everyone feel better and prevent anyone from getting too sleepy. Besides, I have a couple modeling friends who I'm inviting, and they have been bugging me a lot about the menu. So this is also a way to address some of their worries.
I see. Well, I suppose people are wanting to eat more vegetables for all kinds of reasons these days. But anyways, if you're sure you'd like to hire my cafe, we'd be honored to cater your wedding.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy that we got to meet each other. This is going to be perfect.
And I'll spend some time thinking of a menu worthy of a wedding. Thank you so much for giving me something to do in my sister's wedding.
No. We're the ones who should be thanking you for being an option.
Of course, but I think it might be best if we keep my involvement a secret from Carmen. I just don't think this would go well if she found out beforehand.
Wait, what? You mean you don't mean to tell my sister that you're catering our wedding?
Well, it's like you said, Carmen and I don't really get along all that well, right? So I think that's why she shouldn't know my role in this. Just tell her you found some standard catering company and leave it at that.
Well, I suppose you would know how your sister would react better than I would. And who knows? Maybe the surprise might help push you two closer.
Yeah, I guess we'll see about that. But anyway, I'll help you out just as long as we keep it a secret from my sister.
Well, okay then. If those are your conditions, then I'll keep my mouth shut. If you just wouldn't mind sending over your menu ideas and rough budgets for them all, that would be great. I can't wait to see the finished product.
Hey, Carmen, what is your deal? Let me back inside, now! Why did you kick me out of your own wedding? What is the matter with you? I was only kicking you out for your own good, you know. Don't you realize that a lowlife like you doesn't belong among all of these successful people? But you were the one that sent me the invitation to be here in the first place. The only reason I sent you an invitation was because I didn't want to hear any crap about not doing so from Mom and Dad. But you should have known that I didn't really want you here. Besides, how can you even afford to take a day off work to come here? I thought you could never take a day off from your cafe. You better run back to your shop and make sure you're not already bankrupt. I'd hate for you to get back just in time for there to be nothing left standing because the bank took their land back. I'll have you know that my cafe is not nearly as small of an operation as you think it is. And I would be more than fine to close the business for a day now and then. So can you please just let me back inside? Oh man, it really is just sad how hard you're trying to prove yourself right now. There's no way I'm ever going to believe that your business is anything but some rinky-dink little business that's on the verge of collapse. You really need to get a grip and realize you're nothing compared to some of the people here at my wedding. Of any, just look at the time. What in the world are we even talking about right now, Carmen? I mean, what are you even doing here this early? The guests for the wedding aren't supposed to show up for another 3 hours or so. Don't tell me that you're actually so stupid that you don't even know how to tell the time. I came here at this time because I have things to get ready, if you must know. And just what is it that you have to get ready, huh? Did you need to try and practice fitting in with all the amazing people who are going to be here? Well, don't bother because I don't want you here anyways, so just go back home and never come back. You really have no idea what you're talking about right now, do you? I know that I've kicked you out and that's enough. There's no place for you here, so why don't you just turn around and let me get married in peace? Just go back to your stupid little cafe and keep it running so you can put it off the inevitable. I'm telling you that I can't just go back to my cafe today. I came here for your wedding and I'm going to see it through. Am I supposed to find that kind of language kind? Or comforting? I'm telling you that I don't want you here, so why don't you just beat it? You really mean it. You really want me to just turn around and leave? Let me break this down for you, but Tony and I went to amazing schools. Everyone who is coming to this wedding are also all of the upper crust of our society and top people in their field. There simply isn't room for a poor little nobody like you to just hang in here. So I don't care what excuses you have to stay longer, but you're simply not wanted. I don't get why you're always putting me down just because I didn't go to college. Aren't you proud of me as a sister for achieving all I have in spite of what I've been through? I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, if all you've done is open up some crappy little cafe, it would just be insulting to you if I'd pretended like I was impressed. Especially when your business just isn't going to last all that long anyways. Speaking of, you should really get back to work now, don't you think? Are you really sure you want me to leave then? How many times are you going to make me repeat myself? Yes, I want you to leave. Go! It really isn't that hard. Just go back to your crappy little cafe to make your crappy little food and serve it to your crappy customers. I see. Well, okay, I can do that, but your guests are going to have to be satisfied with just water then. What are you going on about? I mean that if you want me to go home, then I will, but just make sure to apologize to all your guests. Hey there, Tony. I'm really sorry about this, but I wasn't able to prepare any food for the wedding today. I've got some juice prepared, but you might have to cut them with water to make sure that they last the whole wedding.
Wait, what? Are you serious? What do you mean? What happened?
Well, I was just locked out of the venue and then ordered to go home by Carmen. She told me I didn't belong at the wedding because I'm poor and told me to go back to my cafe.
Are you kidding me? Did she really say that?
She really did. And to think that I was going to write all of this food off. I was going to take on this catering job as a wedding gift to you both, but she turned me away.
Well, hold on a second. I'll deal with this.
Kim, are you there? Why didn't you tell me you were catering my wedding? I didn't know that Tony hired you for that. Well, it's true, and it's why I was at the wedding venue so early. I'd been preparing for this all week, but then you told me to turn around and go home. Well, that's before I knew what was going on. You have to get back here right now. Everyone's about to arrive and there's nothing for anyone to eat. Sorry, but I've already returned to my cafe to do my job like you said. Well, I'm telling you something different now, so hurry up and get back, or else I'm gonna flood your shop with negative reviews. For doing what? Following your orders and turning around? You were the one who canceled my services at the last minute. But you don't understand. You need to get back here right now. Tony is saying that if you don't come back, he won't marry me. Wait, now he's saying that the wedding is off anyways. How did all of this happen so quickly? Why would you ruin my wedding like this? I didn't do anything to ruin your wedding. It's not my fault if your husband didn't know the kind of person you really were. But, I mean, I don't get it. Why would he be taking your side in this? He's not really going to just leave me just because I made fun of your lame job, is he? I think that if you don't know the answer to that question, then you really don't know your fiancé that well at all. I don't know what's going to happen next, but it sounds to me like you two have a lot of talking to do. Just leave me out of it. After that, I heard from Tony that he called the wedding off for the way that Carmen treated me in my job. After explaining the situation to his family, who were all sympathetic towards me and were actually looking forward to talking, they all understood and agreed with his decision. I also explained to my parents the kinds of things that Carmen had been saying about me and how Tony came to find out about all of that. Carmen begged Tony to get back with her, but he refused, after knowing how she felt about small business owners and agriculture workers. A group Tony was quite close with and connected with, he knew he could never be with her. After Tony canceled the wedding, I told him to bring his half of the wedding party to my cafe to enjoy all the food that was meant to serve at his wedding. I met many people who were interested in what I was doing, and my business really began to pick up through their word of mouth. Although my sister might not have gotten married, at least I made a great new friend and many important business connections.
Hey, Liam. Do you have a second to talk real quick?
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. My lunch break just started, so I should have a while that I can talk. What's up, Ashley?
Well, it's just about your mom, actually. She came over to the house again today.
Did she really? Man, my mom must have really taken a liking to you, huh, Ash?
I'm not sure if that's what I'd call it, per se.
Oh, really? You think so? But I feel like she comes over several times a week, doesn't she? Actually, I'm really happy that you and my mom have gotten along so well.
Right, well, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. The thing is that your mom and I really aren't on all that friendly of terms with each other.
Wait, really? You don't think that my mom likes you? What makes you say that?
Well, she comes over to the house early in the morning and your mom just has a lot of things to say about me in the house while she's over.
What kind of things does she say to you?
She tells me that I'm not cooking well enough for you, or in general. I'll serve her lunch and then she'll tell me that it tastes awful. Then, when I'm trying to do chores around the house, she'll follow me around, but she never ever helps me. She just criticizes how I'm doing them.
Oh, well, is that it? That doesn't sound too bad to me. It sounds to me like she just wants to help you do things around the house even better than you're already doing them. I would just think of this as free training from a real pro at housekeeping.
So you're saying that all of that sounds totally normal to you then?
Yeah, I mean, back when married couples would live with their husband's parents, I feel like it was the job of the mother-in-law to make sure the wife was doing a good job. But now that we're living apart, it makes sense that she would come over more often to see how you're doing. It's not like she's doing any of this to be mean or to bully you, I just think that she wants to teach you a bit about the married life.
I guess that kind of makes sense, but the way she talks to me makes me feel like she doesn't think I know how to take care of the house at all.
You think so? But I think you're doing a great job. I mean, my mom probably has much higher standards for how a house should be run, of course, but there's nothing wrong with learning from someone with more experience, right?
I don't think so either, but having her come over almost every day this week to do that is just really starting to bother me. I mean, I don't have time to sit there and redo the same chore over and over again. I have my own schedule that I want to keep.
A schedule? What are you talking about? You're a housewife whose only job is to keep the house clean. What schedule could you possibly have?
That isn't true at all, Liam. I have a lot of things that I want to get done every single day. Besides, you know that I'm trying to get my craft shop off the ground so that I can make a little money from home. I just feel like I haven't had any time to put into that at all lately.
Sure, you don't have time for that now, but this is all just temporary. I'm sure that my mom will get bored of coming over so often, and then you'll have the whole house to yourself again, okay? Besides, that little craft thing is more like a hobby for you now, right? So it's okay to prioritize what your actual job is, don't you think?
Well, when you put it like that, I just wish that she didn't come over so often is the thing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think that this is just my mom's way of getting closer to you. I mean, it isn't like she's doing anything that bad when you think about it, right?
It's not so bad in small doses, but when she comes over every day like this, it really starts to grind on my patience.
I know, but you just gotta keep at it. Think of this as a really good way for you to learn about how to be the best that you can be from a real pro. You got this! And if you do it right, then my mom would have less reason to come over and bother you so much.
But that isn't the point! Do you really not care at all that I'm bothered by this, Liam?
Of course I'm concerned that this bothers you, but ever since my dad died, my mom has been really lonely. And she's my mom, so you know that I have to take her side given the circumstances. So maybe just try and be a little kinder to her, okay?
I think that I'm already being really kind, Liam.
I know, but just try and get along with her, okay? I don't want to end up having to choose between you and my mom. I don't think that you'd like it much if I asked you to tell your parents to stop coming around so much, right?
But it's not the same. My parents aren't the ones coming to the house all the time. And you're not the one having to deal with all of this on your own.
Great, well, I'm glad this is what you want to take up my lunch break talking about. I'm gonna go and try to eat with what little appetite I have left after this.
So you're just going to go away and not try and address the problem at all?
Just get over yourself and try to be friendly with my mom, okay? You're her daughter-in-law now, so start acting like it.
Hey, Liam, are you on your way home? I thought you said that you were going to try and get back here a little earlier, remember?
Oh, right, I completely forgot. That's my bad. Some people from work invited me out drinking, and I said yes. So I won't be back for dinner or anything like that.
But I've already made dinner for us both.
Ah, shoot, sorry about that. You can just put my portion in the fridge, and I'll bring it for lunch to eat it later or something.
Well, did you at least tell your mom what we talked about last month? I thought that you were going to come home early so that you could tell me how that talk went.
Oh, right, I was gonna talk to my mom about all that stuff tomorrow.
Liam, what's the matter with you? Not only have you not talked to your mom, but you broke your promise about coming home early. I am seriously starting to reach my limit with dealing with your mom. And when you do come home and I do try to talk to you about this, you say that you're tired and go straight to bed.
Right, well, I mean, what do you want me to do? You think that I want to stay up just to hear the same old complaints?
Liam, are you being serious right now? I'm not just complaining, I'm being serious with you. All I'm asking is for you to listen to me and talk to your mom. I'm not trying to start any drama or fights, but this is a serious issue for me. You do know that she's here right now, don't you? And she threw away the dinner that I made and served her. Not only that, but then she went into the bedroom and started going through our drawers. How am I supposed to live like this?
Well, if she threw your food away, it was probably because it wasn't very good, right? And I don't get what's wrong with her going into our room. Maybe she was just trying to tidy it up for us.
Liam, do you think I've ever made anything that tasted so bad that it couldn't be eaten and had to be thrown away?
I don't know, I don't keep track of everything you've ever cooked.
Okay, well, what about this? Your mom took some of my clothes and cut them up because she said that she needed more rags to clean with. She cut up my clothes! That she took out of my drawers!
Okay, so it sounds to me like she just wanted to recycle and didn't want to spend money on new clothes to wipe stuff down with.
But some of these were new clothes!
Well, you know my mom. She's the frugal kind, and she doesn't really like spending all that much money on fancy clothes. Maybe she was just trying to tell you that you don't gotta think about all that stuff when you're married, you know? I told you that she's just teaching you on how to be a better wife, right?
Are you kidding me right now? How can you be taking her side in this?
Okay, well, take the skirt you like wearing, right? I don't think that my mom ever wore a skirt like that after she got married. I think that she's just not used to how your life is supposed to change after you get married. But you shouldn't fight this, you should be going with it.
This is just... Liam, I can't believe that you're actually saying this kind of stuff to me. I don't see why I shouldn't be allowed to have nice things just because I'm married now.
Well, my mom has a lot of experience in this, okay? I know you might think she's from a different generation, but if she's made it this far, then something must have worked, right?
I just wish that she would take my needs and my wishes into consideration too.
You're just being selfish. Don't you get that? I mean, is wearing a skirt really that important to you?
This isn't about skirts or clothing or individual things like that. The problem is much bigger than that, and I'm amazed that you can't see what I mean. Do you have any idea just how patient I've been this whole time?
Are you sure you're being patient? Because I think you're pretty fast to complain about anything my mom does to me.
That's because your mom is causing problems and you're not helping me do anything about it. You told me that you want your mom and I to get along, right? Well, that's not just on me. It's on your mom, too.
No, you're just blowing this all out of proportion, though. I don't think my mom is really doing anything that bad. She's just always liked things done a particular way for a long time now, and she just wants to teach you how to do it that way, too. I think that you're not being open enough to change, and that maybe you should show a bit more humility.
Did you know that your mom told me that she wished you and I had never gotten married? She said she made a mistake ever letting us think that this would work out.
Oh, she probably only said that because you've been arguing with her so much. Maybe if you just let my mom have her way, she wouldn't have to say things like that.
I really just don't even know what to say to you anymore. We've had the same conversation over and over again.
Well, if you don't think anything has changed, then why don't you try to be the change that you want to see, huh? And stop complaining all the time about my mom, because frankly, I'm getting sick of it.
So you don't care at all that your mom and I have these problems and they're only going to get worse? I thought that I could count on you to take my side in this, Liam.
I don't see why you're so intent on dragging me into this drama that you have with my mom. I don't want to be in the middle of any of this.
Of course not! You'd rather just be out drinking with your friends, right?
Alright, that actually reminds me, I'm gonna be out of town next week for a business trip.
Oh really? Is that so?
Don't you start with me, Ashley. I thought you'd be happy to hear this. I'll be out of the house for a week, so you can take it as a chance to reset. I thought maybe you could go to your parents' house and stay with them for a bit.
Oh, really? Well, maybe I will do that.
Yeah, perfect. Go to your parents, relax, don't worry about anything. And then when you come back, be ready to make friends with my mom. Remember, you are her daughter-in-law whether you like it or not, right?
I guess so, Liam. I guess so. I guess it'll give me a while to think about how to deal with her at the very least.
Yeah, hey, Ashley, did you call me? Sorry, I was on the phone with the client and I couldn't really pick up. Is everything okay? Yeah, I really would have picked up, but it was a really important call. What did you want to talk about?
I have something really important to say and you should have picked up.
Something more important than work? I'd be very surprised at that.
It's about your mom. She's dead.
Wait, what? What do you mean? How can she be dead?
I mean that your mom died. She kicked the bucket. She's floating down the river Styx.
I don't understand. My mom is really dead? Is this some kind of joke? Do you think this is funny? We're gonna have a talk about this when I get back home, okay? You can't just drop this on me. What's going on here?
What's going on is that your mom is really truly dead. I never thought that I'd feel happy at someone's passing, but all I can say is, woohoo!
What's the matter with you? How can you react like this to my mom's passing? Crap, I have another call coming to me right now. I'll do this call and then I'm going straight back home, got it? You better be there.
Nope. I'm still at my parents' and I don't think I'll be going home at all.
You horrible woman! What is the matter with you? You're just sick if this is how you're acting. How can you be laughing and joking at your husband's mom dying? I never want to see you ever again.
Well, when you do get home, be careful. Your mom might still be there. I guess it was some neighbor that found her.
Well, what happened? How did she die?
I have no idea. I just know that she texted me to come back home.
And you just left her there and now she's dead? I'll leave you for this, okay? You killed my mom! Don't bother showing up to the funeral. Ashley, I'm so sorry.
Sorry about what, Liam?
For everything up until now, okay? All of it.
Come on, and spit it out. Tell me just what exactly you're sorry about.
Well, my mom is alive.
Yeah, no duh.
Wait, you mean that this whole time you knew she was alive?
Well, when the neighbor called me about finding your mom, it wasn't a voice that I recognized, and the voice wouldn't tell me what happened. Not to mention that I had just gotten back to my parents' house, so I wasn't about to go back and figure out what seemed like a scam.
But why didn't you tell any of that to me? You know that I had to cancel my business meeting to get back home as fast as I could. I even told my boss that my mom died.
You're saying all this is my fault? Wasn't it your mom's for lying about being dead in the first place?
Well, I guess, but you could have said something.
Shut up, Liam. Don't even try to put this on me. I've signed my half of the divorce papers, so let's just get this over with.
But can't we just wait and talk this out?
What is there to wait for?
Well, I'm in the hospital right now.
Why on earth are you in the hospital right now?
Because my mom dug a hole in front of the house to try and trap you when you came back home. I fell into it and broke my ankle.
Your mom booby-trapped our house. What in the world is her problem? Why would she do something like that?
Please, I'm so sorry about everything. I should have taken your side from the very start.
You're right. You should have. Just how many times did I tell you about this? But you never ever listened to me at all.
I know, I thought that you were being dramatic or something.
Well, this is what you get for not listening to your wife this whole time. I talked to you about this over and over again, and you never once took my side in any of this.
So you won't rethink this at all then? Please, I had no idea that my mom was really this bad. Plus, I need a lot of stuff in the house now that I'm here.
Well, I don't really care because you and I are getting divorced. I'll bring you some stuff once, and then you are going to sign the divorce papers, and you and I are over.
You mean you're still gonna get a divorce while I'm stuck like this?
Do you want your stuff or not, Liam?
Okay, I'll sign the papers. I'll send you a list of things later that I need.
After that, I got a message from Liam about the things from home that he wanted me to bring to him while he was in the hospital. It was a long list. But I made sure to bring the signed divorce papers along, too. He cried in the hospital and begged me not to leave him, but I wasn't having any of it. I told him I had his stuff in my car and that I would only ever go and get it for him if he signed. It wasn't long before the neighbors learned about what happened, not least of all because of the hole in front of our front door. They told my husband that they didn't want such a person coming into their neighborhood anymore. As for Liam, he couldn't believe how he'd been betrayed by his mom and told her that he never wanted to see her again. Thank you for watching! If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.